Good morning from Houston. The A's offense has had a tough time versus the first-place Astros. One run in 2 games has Bob Melvin and the boys frustrated. Today it doesn't get any easier as the green and gold face Brad Peacock, who has been one of the Astros' best starters this season. It's the final game of the series. A's, Astros, next. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston. It is this series finale. It is the Oakland A's and the Houston Astros coming up on NBC Sports California, presented by Black Bear Diner. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Pitching matchup for the series finale is Brad Peacock for the Astros, Jarrell Cotton for the Athletics. And Ray, for Cotton, he faced these Astros way back in April. For Brad Peacock, well, he's been a savior for the Astros this year.
How about double figures? Unfortunately for Jarrell Cotton, it's double figures in losses. For Brad Peacock, it's wins. And for Peacock, he's been pitching out of the bullpen as well as the rotation. For Jarrell Cotton, he needs to get back on the winning track because he had a good start last year in 5 starts coming over from the Dodgers. This year, he's getting a chance to pitch every 5th day when healthy. I think that's the biggest thing for him. And for Peacock, the A's just want to try to shut down the offense of the Houston Astros and be able to get to a pitcher they have not been able to get to so far in this series.
All right, so is this the year Jose Altuve wins the American League Most Valuable Player? I think he's got a pretty good shot this year, and against the A's, he's hit .400 this year. The young man can just do it all. He really is a terrific player.
And, you know, he hits that way against everybody. He knows how to hit. He knows how to play defense. He knows how to run. He's a complete package. You look at his size, he's all over the place. The power is probably spectacular. His base stealing, he knows how to run, when to run. He gets to third base, 2 outs, but he can score an infield hit. But he can also play defense. He's all over the field defensively. He goes into shallow right field to take this fly ball. He knows how to play the game. I think that's the most important thing for him. And he also knows that nobody wanted to sign him. He had to keep coming back. The Astros are fortunate to have signed him.
Well, the A's have scored just 1 run in the first 2 games of the series, so they'll try to get that offense going today and get out of Houston with a W. Now keep it right here on NBC Sports California. We will check in with the A's pregame live studios right after the break.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink. Limited time only.
Welcome back to Minute Maid Park here in Houston as the Astros take the field, and Jarrell Cotton has finished up getting himself ready out in the bullpen as he heads back to the A's dugout. A's with the all-gray uniforms today. The Astros are wearing the dark blue tops and the white pants. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. It's even warmer today, 98 degrees. Of course, it is an afternoon game, so that does make a difference, but it seemed a little bit warmer this morning. Obviously very humid, and obviously the roof is closed. So Brad Peacock starting his warm-up tosses, and here's the lineup he will face. Oakland A's lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Boog Powell will lead off in center field. Marcus Semien is the shortstop. Matt Joyce hits third. Jed Lowry in the cleanup spot. Ryan Healy hits fifth. And it's Olson, Pinder, Chapman, and Garneau. That's your Oakland A's starting lineup.
And Brad Peacock on the mound for the Astros. As we mentioned in our open, that Peacock out of the bullpen and out of the rotation. And for him, he's pitched twice out of the bullpen, twice in the rotation against the Athletics. Most recent back on June the 29th. He's pitched well, good fastball. He has really the 4 pitches that complements his starter, but he also takes him down to the bullpen. But very versatile young man, and 10 wins on the season, 7-game winning streak.
Here's the Astros defense. It has Derek Fisher is in left field, Jake Marisnick in center, Josh Reddick is in right. J.D. Davis, the rookie, we get our first look at him. He's at third. Bregman plays short today. Altuve at second. Marwin Gonzalez slides over to first, and Juan Centeno is the catcher. So Peacock has wrapped up his warm-up tosses, and we're set for baseball as Boog Powell steps in.
Got Alex Bregman showing his versatility, moving over to shortstop, where he has been playing some with Correa on the disabled list. We've seen Marwin Gonzalez there the first 2 games. Bregman's done an exceptional job at third. Davis today. So A.J. Hinch with a big lead in the division, able to give some of his players a half day off in the case of Springer, some days off completely.
First pitch of the ball game is a bit outside to Boog Powell. Powell, 220 is the average combined with the A's and the Mariners. With the Athletics, he's 4 for 14. So 1-1 the count. Semien to follow, and then Joyce here in the very first inning. Davis, the third baseman, in on the grass. Now he backs up. Umpires for the final game of this series. Dan Bellino is at first, or is the home plate umpire, excuse me. There's Estabrook. There's Jerry Lane. He's at second. Ryan Editon is at third. A line drive into right field, and that's a base hit for Boog Powell. So the speedy Powell has a leadoff single here in the first.
Off-speed breaking ball after throwing fastballs by him. Sped up his bat a little bit with a little backdoor slider. Stayed down, and Boog Powell did a good job staying with it. Biggest thing for the Athletics right now, if they can advance Powell and not have a double play. Because last night it seemed like every time the A's got their leadoff hitter on base, he was erased. 6 double plays last night. 1 in each of the last 3 innings.
So 1-0 to Marcus Semien. Pitchcast today is brought to you by Penn Fed Credit Union.
Start the Semien, actually Peacock faced the Athletics back in late June. He walked 6 batters, went just 5 innings. But ended up winning the game, giving up just the 1 run. I think the A's good approach by Powell to get on base on the 2-strike pitch. Now Marcus Semien trying to advance him and maybe get some offense going in the first part of the game.
And Powell, very good speed, decent base stealer in the minor leagues. He's got a good lead. Semien hits it in the hole, backhanded by Bregman, and the throw goes into right field. Powell gets up, he's going to go to third. In fact, Powell is now going to try to score. The throw to the plate is late. It's cut off. The throw to third goes down the left field line. Simeon's going to come in to score. And in most places, we call that a Little League home run.
That's right. That's right. How about at all places, even at the big league level? Well, fortunately, the first error occurred. That prevented a possibility of a double play. But talk about some great offense in the first inning. How about that? Steve Scarsone, as Powell stopped at third, and Scarsone said, let's go. Because he could see where the ball ended up, and that was Reddick going to get the ball. So he scored the throw to the plate, or actually cut off by the first baseman, then a bad throw to third. And here comes Marcus Semien. So that's the first one. Bregman threw past Altuve, and Powell just kind of stopped, and then here comes Scarsone, said, let's run, keep running. Throw comes in, cut by Gonzalez. He gets an error with a throw to third. And this throw bounced. Davis couldn't handle it, and Marcus Semien, well, that's an inside the park home run with a couple of errors.
In honor of the Little League World Series.
Isn't that great?
So it ends up being a single, E6, and then E3, and 2-run score. Last night, it would have been a 6-4-3 double play.
Absolutely. I was thinking exactly when I saw the ball hit, and Bregman caught it, and maybe he was thinking double play, and he tried to do a little bit too much. The A's will take it, whatever it takes to score.
Joyce grounds it toward Altuve. He scoops this one up, flips to first. So, speaking of these double plays last night, and there's some historical references here. The A's last night, they grounded into 5 double plays. That ties an Oakland record. The Astros turned 6 total double plays. That ties an Oakland opponent record. 9 combined double plays. That ties an Oakland record. So the Astros had 6 double plays. The A's turned 3 for a total of 9. So it was that kind of night. So the A's hit into 5, what do you want to call it, traditional double plays, and then there was a line-out double play.
And the A's had a strike him out, throw him out on an appeal.
That's
right. A strikeout, and actually should have been interference on the hitter crossing the plate, but the overturn at second base. Regardless, double plays, 2 outs with 1 batter.
6 double plays turned last night, most by an American League team this season, and ties the Astros record. No surprise there. There's a strike. 1-2 to Lowry. We just were not at all surprised that the game ended on a double play, even though it was somewhat controversial. Call that was reversed after a review. Swing and a miss on a fastball. So Lowry strikes out. Second out here in the first.
Look at this fastball. That's why it's shocking that he threw the breaking pitch to Boog Powell when he got the base hit on the 1-2 breaking ball. His fastball at 93 up in the zone looked like he's about 103. Good velocity and good location going upstairs.
There's the pitch usage for Peacock. Lots of sliders, 37%.
And really that's typical of a reliever coming in throwing a fastball and a slider. Of course, out of the rotation, he has the curveball and the changeup.
Well, he also he spent a year with the Athletics, and then early on in his career here in Houston, he was more over the top.
Exactly.
And now, and Bob Melvin talked about that yesterday when asked about Peacock. Now you watch, he's 3/4 delivery, and I think it's helped his breaking ball. But see, that's 3/4 delivery. And Bob Melvin had a great line. He said, "This is not the Brad Peacock that pitched for the Athletics in the minor league system. It is, but it isn't.
Right.
He's got
name only
different stuff, and better stuff." Bregman dives under his glove, and it's a base hit for Healy.
That's pretty amazing. 2 base hits, both through the shift. Motion is fine. He's pitching out of the stretch exclusively, but it is more 3/4. He's dropping down, especially the right-handers. He drops down a little bit more. Big sweeping breaking ball.
6 big league seasons, and he's put it all together this year, no question.
He's got a couple of wins against the A's,
yep.
4-1 and 6-1.
Remember, he was originally with the Nationals, and then the A's acquired him in the Gio Gonzalez trade. He pitched the 2012 season with Sacramento, at that time the A's AAA team, and then the A's traded him to Houston in the Jed Lowry deal. It was Peacock, Chris Carter, and Max Stassi going from the A's to the Astros for Jed Lowry and Fernando Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So that was the deal. That was in February of 2013.
Chris Carter back to the AAA for the A's. Peacock is here. Stassi's here. Jed Lowry with the A's, so it's 2 for 2.
Peacock pitched in the big leagues in 2013 and 14 when the Astros really just were not very good. So he paid his dues, and now he's pitching for a pretty good Astros team. So Olsen swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, but the A's get 2 runs. Very interesting way, but they'll take it 2-0 after half an inning. Starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. George Springer's in there as the DH today. Then Bregman, Altuve, Reddick, Gonzalez, Davis, Fisher, Centeno, and Marisnik.
Hey, Terrell, you got 2 runs before you took the mound. Have a good game. And for Terrell, he is making the start for the Athletics, his 19th, and of course coming back from the disabled list. Not pitched particularly well, but today gets a 2-run lead before he takes the mound, looking for win number 6. He's already in double figures of losses, and they'd like to stop it right there.
First pitch to Springer is just a touch low. Springer, 28 homers and 70 RBIs. In this series, he's 2 for 8. So getting a half a day off today. Gurriel also not in the lineup. Two and 1 to Springer. Bregman to follow, and then Altuve here in the first inning. Cotton pitching from the very far first base side of the rubber.
Well, if there's ever time for a shutdown, and this would be it for Jarrell Cotton to get off on a good foot in this start.
quick look at the A's defense. Joyce, Powell, and Pinder in the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olson on the infield, and Dustin Garneau is behind the plate this afternoon. So Garneau gets the start. A little concerned about Bruce Maxwell, Ray, as he took a pretty good shot last night off the mask on a foul tip, and he said he just really did not sleep very well and was not feeling all that great last night. So the A's are going to be real careful with Bruce Maxwell. He's taken a lot of these lately, and it is a concern.
Off the mask, and it pushes him back, and had to be braced by then the home plate umpire. And just one of those things. And he passed the concussion test, but still wasn't feeling that great. And as I mentioned last night, Evan Gattis felt good day 1 and 2. Game 3, that he felt more of an effect of getting the bat off of his helmet. So a good idea for Bruce Maxwell to take the day off.
Bregman hits a fly ball fairly deep center field. And Powell grabs it.
Now for the Nissan keys to the game, it's about Jarrell Cotton, top of the list. And for Jarrell Cotton, he needs to avoid the big inning. And since he's returned from the disabled list, you look at his starts, it's been 1 inning that he's given up multiple runs, a bit crooked numbers, they say, and he tries to avoid that. And for the offense, better approach. How about, hey, a couple of errors in the top of the inning to score 2 runs. They'll take it, whatever it takes. But too many ground balls, too many double plays in the first 2 games, and they just need to have a better approach. And perhaps of the couple of 2-strike hits the A's already have gathered to this afternoon, maybe that's a good start for them.
Here's Altuve. First pitch is in for a strike to Jose Altuve, who's had a good series. He's 4 for 7. And against the A's this year, he's 20 for 50. That's a .400 average. So 20 hits against the A's in 14 games this year. We mentioned that in our opening. Your response was correct. He does that against a lot of teams.
He does. Yeah, you hit that kind of an average over the course of a season. I think the biggest surprise, see how far he's away from the plate. The center field camera can show how far he is away. That is, I mean, usually guys are on top of the plate. He's in the middle towards the third base dugout position.
Highest career batting average versus the Oakland A's. Jose Altuve is second. He's a .334 career hitter against the A's. Only Victor Martinez has been better.
And you look at Victor at the top, and then third is Miguel Cabrera. There's your protection.
That's true. Manny Machado, we've seen enough of him. We know Trout.
See Machado next 3 games. Each, of course, in Miami. Joe Mauer, Pedroia, the DL, Trout forever. Hosmer debut against the Athletics and turned a 3.63 double play in the first inning. He's going to be a free agent after this year. He's going to make a lot of money.
Altuve reaches for it, pokes it foul.
If he can handle that pitch, which really was off the plate, to protect where he's positioned at the plate, he's asking if it was a strike with the home plate umpire, Epolino, but to be able to extend and protect, he's invited you to come inside as far as he's off the plate. But you're also concerned if you make a mistake as he's already done on an 0-2 pitch, went deep on Friday night with a home run into the Crawford boxes.
1-2 pitch, foul straight back. Well, of all the contracts in baseball, and there's some good ones out there, there's some bad ones. I think Jose Altuve is, for what he does, is probably the most underpaid. Outside of maybe a player's making the minimum, but yet is a star. And there's a few out there, but Jose Altuve.
My feeling on those, it happened with Salvador Perez, and they tore up his contract. The bottom line, player commits, he admits, give me the contract, I'll take the security. He took it and has a great year, or great years. And I know Altuve last year we were here, he changed agents. Bottom line, you sign a contract, you're guaranteed the money no matter what happens to you. He just has happened to have some pretty good seasons.
Altuve is making $4.5 million this year. Now, listen to this. He has, this was what he did on Friday night. Well, listen to this, Ray. For next year, there's a club option for $6 million.
Yeah.
In 2019, there's a club option for $6.5 million.
Yeah.
I think they'll pick it up.
Well, yeah, right now. I think they're already thinking about picking it up.
But, you know, and you hear this a lot with like Altuve. You hear it a lot with Bumgarner, who has a team-friendly contract. And I never quite understood this. I'm with you on this, where they say, well, you know what, they got to, they really should extend the guy. It's like, well, you don't do it until you have to.
Well, yeah.
And you really don't have to till the second option
That's exactly
is
right.
done.
And, you know, to me, and I mentioned this before, Madison Bumgarner said it best. I signed the contract. I was happy with it, still happy with it. When I'm a free agent, then we'll see where the market is.
Sure.
And he's going to make a lot of money because the market, he's going to be still young. But my feeling is that if you sign a long-term contract, you should play relaxed because you're guaranteed the money. Sure. And you should have some good seasons.
And Altuve will be young enough where he'll probably stay right here in Houston, and he will get paid a big contract.
It's a good play by Matt Olson, backpedaling, and it was a fair ball. Jed Lowry was there, and Olson looking at him. And, you know, we saw that similar play with Chris Davis in Oakland on a ball that Pinder hit, and he dropped it. It should have been called off by Scope, the second baseman, or he should have taken charge. And it's a better angle simply for a second baseman going over behind first and a shortstop behind third to have a better angle to get those pop-ups. That Chris Davis is not playing. The other Chris Davis, first base for the Orioles. Okay, to get in the afternoon off. But always a threat to be able to come in and pinch hit if necessary.
Want to know what a Reddick? You know, one final thought on that Altuve thing, Ray. When Jose Altuve was 23 years old, 4 years ago, the Astros guaranteed him $24 million.
That's right.
And he had just a couple of years in the big leagues.
That's right.
So they took a risk.
Yeah. Because unlike other sports, baseball, you sign a contract that's guaranteed. You could walk off the curb the next day and you never play again. You got $24 million.
That's right.
And really that $24 million should set him up, and then whatever he gets in the future is a huge bonus. And he will be compensated. And, you know, for him to put up the good years so he went in as a free agent, then have all those years to go forward and say, this is what I've done and what I'm expected to do in the future.
He's fun to watch, Jose Altuve. Two and one the count to Reddick. Springer still at first. He led off this inning with a walk. Just missed, and the count is now 3-1. Shift is on. Simeon playing right behind second base for Reddick.
Trying to cut off some of the left side because I think the A's realize that Reddick will hit the ball to the opposite field if pitched away.
And that one just missed. So a couple of walks here in the first inning. 2 on, 2 out for Marlin Gonzalez.
Walks got the A's in trouble last night. Leadoff walks this time, at least there are 2 outs.
Ray, do you think when watching Cotton this year that at times he just doesn't let it fly? He tries to make the perfect pitch where his stuff is good enough. Just pitch.
Yeah, let it go.
Do you agree with that a little bit?
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what he's done. The 0-2, and his ERA approaching 8.5. And you know, he had 5 very good starts last year. And you know, he said he learned a lot last year, going to spring training, this year going to spring training. Scott Emerson, the A's pitching coach.
Yeah, one of those 5 starts last year in September was against these Astros, and he got a no decision, but he pitched great. Now, granted, there wasn't a lot of scouting reports on him, and now there is, and he has struggled this year.
I think Terrell Cotton is the type of pitcher that he would like to go with the catcher for everything his catcher calls and eliminate that thought process of really how to pitch a game. And there are some pitchers who are like that.
A little overreaction from Marwin Gonzalez.
That ball, if while it was up high, it was on the plate.
Yeah.
That's how much he was diving. Time to change. Just can't pitch inside, and that ball, if you looked at it, it was really on the inside corner, just up high.
So a changeup, and now it's 2-1. And that's low, and now 3-1. So again, Cotton falling behind. 24 pitches here in the first inning. That's J.D. Davis, young third baseman. Good speed with Springer and Reddick on the bases for the Astros. 3-1 pitch is popped up. Foul territory. Chapman near the seats, and he's got it. Nice play by Matt Chapman, hustling over there right in front of the crowd. So a couple of runners stranded for the Astros. 2-0 A's after 1. That creeped me out a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know what it is.
How about this? You talk about concentration. Watch the fan down to the left. Watch this. That's called ejection. You're leaning over like that. Great concentration by Matt Chapman, but that fan leaned over. I mean, it's one thing if the ball's in the seats, but when you reach over like that, that's kind of distracting, trying to distract Chapman, reaching over. And of course, you have the low side rail.
Well, on top of that, that's a weak effort. Make a better effort than that. So Pinder's got a hit. Big turn at first, so leadoff single.
Those seats are good seats, but they're dangerous because you can get ejected very quickly doing something like that. Good approach by Chad Pinder. The breaking ball staying with it. And that's a good one to stay in, and really no stride, as Pinder showed with a breaking ball started at him and towards the middle of the plate. He was thinking too, because as we have described many times, the left fielder plays way off the line because of the Crawford boxes.
So here is Matt Chapman. 4 hits already for the A's. And the first pitch to Chapman is a little bit outside. And that one misses inside. Peacock thought that may have been a strike. So 2-0 the count. Dan Bellino did not agree. Popped up. Right side of the diamond. It's going to be Jose Altuve grabs it, and that's the first out here in the second inning.
Last night we had 3 of the umpires on the bases showing wristbands. They're not showing them today. I wonder what happened. It was one game because Jerry Lane had his left wrist protected, but the base umpires had the wristband, the white one.
That was
today.
quick. What happened? They were going to wear them until a resolution was brought out on the verbal attacks by players on umpires. So there must have been a resolution, and they've put the wristbands away. So that's good news. Verbal attacks are going to stop now, Ray.
That's not what I read from the commissioner.
Progress.
The commissioner said this is customary around baseball.
I thought they were going to wear them for quite a while, but I guess that was just a one-day thing. Oh, 0-2 the count to Dustin Garneau. Garneau, the 9th place hitter.
A lot of times the manager tells players whether they're getting the day off or going to play the next day, and this one, a case of Maxwell, came to the park and kind of a late addition to the game today with Dustin Garneau. Those guys always come prepared to play anyway because of platooning and pinch hitting.
Well, I think whether you're the guy who's being told he's not playing or the guy who's being told he is playing, you'd like to know.
Absolutely. Especially the day before, a day game after a night game, it'd be nice to know.
Garneau chases that outside breaking ball and he strikes out. So that's 3 strikeouts for Brad Peacock.
Well, you have to recognize it and recognize how far it's going to go off the plate. This one started a big sweeping breaking ball. And although it ended up off the plate, just wondered how much of the plate it crossed before getting that far outside.
How about that? That's strikeouts per 9 innings. Sale, Kluber, and Peacock. Break it down. He's now thrown 94 innings this year, and he has 124 strikeouts. And that's never really been his thing, but everything's working for Brad Peacock, and with all these injuries to their starting rotation this year, well, they just have to be thrilled with what he's done. He's 10-1. That's strike 1 and 2 the count. He's 7-1 as a starter, Ray, and 3-0 as a reliever.
Kind of flip-flop Musgrove and Peacock.
That's right.
Yeah, a couple of guys. Musgrove was in the rotation and innings and back in the bullpen. Peacock back and forth, but have the versatility. It's pretty good.
Pinder runs, throw to second base is there, and they got it. So Pinder is thrown out trying to steal, and that's how the second inning comes to an end. So Chip Hale, they're going to take a quick look at it. Did he get in?
Oh, yeah.
The question is, did
Bregman
tag him?
He must have gotten him a little bit on the side.
So that will do it. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Davis, Fisher, and Centeno. 2-0 A's. first pitch, bottom of the second to J.D. Davis is in for a strike.
And Terrell Cotton got out of the jam in the first inning. However, look at the pitch count already for him, and needs to try to keep it down because he was able to get out of the jam in the first after walking a couple.
Numbers for the young third baseman at the big league level. Just a 158 average. Right to Marcus Semien, who throws across the diamond. Let's just check it, Ray. J.D. Davis was drafted in 2014. And he went to Cal State Fullerton. Matt Chapman was drafted in 2014 and went to Cal State Fullerton. I guess they would have been teammates.
That's probably
J.D.
right,
Davis from Elk Grove, California, so he's from Northern California, so they were teammates. We've done the math. We've put 2 and 2 together.
And he was 4.
And we got 4.5. Cal State Fullerton.
It's good schools
out there, can't they?
In warm weather.
Cotton reaches, knocks it down, catches it, flips to first for the out. Let's hope Terrell Cotton's okay. He threw that pitching hand out there.
Yes, he did. Jeff Russ is going to take a look at him. Always concerned. Catfish Hunter, in the All-Star game, broke his finger doing exactly that. Ball back up the middle, let it go because he shortstop there, but actually knocked it and cradled it into his midsection. It's okay if you catch it in the palm. You just don't want the tip of the fingers because that can cause some serious damage. He's already had a blister on his left thumb. Just a natural reaction of a pitcher to do that. In fact, we've talked about turn around and see where your infielders are.
Yeah.
Because that ball was going to go right to Marcus Semien. See where Marcus is right now. He would have taken a couple of steps to his left. The ball would have been right there. It wasn't hit that hard. It looks like, fortunately, Terrell's okay having had the ball hit off his hand.
So here's Juan Centeno, the catcher. Two-0 to Juan Centeno.
You know, one thing Terrell Cotton did not do after hitting the ball or taking the ball in bare hand, take some warm-up tosses.
No, I know, and I think Bob Melvin said, do you need to? You want to?
He's got to get 8 when he goes back out after this half inning.
So the left fielder Joyce grabs it, and that's a good inning for Terrell Cotton. We're headed to the third. It'll be the top of the order for the A's. 2-0 Athletics.
California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear.
2-0 the A's lead. It's the top of the third from Minute Maid Park. A's trying to salvage the final game of this series before heading to Baltimore to take on the Orioles in a 3-game series Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So Boog Powell steps in. And Powell, a little flare to center, and that will fall for a hit. Boog Powell's 2 for 2.
And season ticket memberships for the 2018 season are on sale as part of the A's new innovative program focused on increased benefits, flexibility, and discounts. The program rewards tenure and includes exciting discounts on concessions, eliminates ticket exchange limitations, and provides exclusive new experiences and events for members. Renew or purchase new season ticket memberships right now at athletics.com/2018.
First pitch to Marcus Semien is in for a strike. Semien had the infield hit, and then things got crazy for the Astros. They made a couple of errors on the same play, and Powell scored. Semien came all the way around to score, and the A's had their 2 runs. It went from being a possible double play, although I don't know that they would have got 2, but he's ended up scoring 2 runs on a ball that was hit to the shortstop. How about that? You just don't see that very often, not at the big league level.
No, you don't. Except that maybe because Bregman was at third base the first 2 games, although he has played short as a shortstop.
This would roll just foul down the third baseline. So watch this play if you're just joining us.
Ball in the hole to the right of Bregman, and it looked like he's going to get a force at least. Maybe try to turn 2. And you look at that replay, you can see he did not have a very good grip when he threw the ball down to the corner. Reddick cut off by the first baseman. Quick throw to third base into left field. And that quickly, the partner said, a little league home run. Just keep on running.
Altuve going out, backpedaling. He's got it, and that's the first out. And speaking of Little League, Ray, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we've been watching, right? Little League World Series, it's great. But I think what is happening today is awesome.
Yeah.
It's called the Major League Baseball Little League Classic. And the Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals are playing a game in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. That's where the Little League World Series is being played. I think there's a AA field there,
Bowman
right?
Field. Bowman Field, I think it's called.
And that's where the 2 big league teams are going to play tonight. Real game. This is not exhibition. This is the real deal. So today, those 2 teams, the Pirates and the Cardinals, fly in this morning, and waiting for them at the airport are some Little Leaguers.
Yeah.
So the Little Leaguers, they had their own bus, and some of the big league players got on the buses with these Little Leaguers. They drove to where the Little League World Series is being played. There's 2 big stadiums there. And so there's a couple of games going on, and the big leaguers are there watching the Little League World Series. Both teams.
And
how great is that?
I think there was a Cardinal I saw where bought 200 snow cones for all the kids. I mean, you talk about in heaven. It's like a major league player going on his rehab assignment and buying dinner for everybody at the minor leagues. But this is the 2 major league. And I think from what I read, Kite, that they had to make that field major league quality.
I'm sure that they had
because
to do some
it
work
is a
on the
major league
field.
game with 2 teams fighting for at least a wild card.
Quick throw, and just getting back is Boog Powell.
I think I read that they had to put a whole new surface, field down with drainage, the whole thing. So they must be thinking Boog Powell's running because you have a pitcher thrown over close play, and now Centeno, the catcher, quick throw. He likes to throw, not surprised, and especially with a left-handed batter, throw behind or in front. Usually the runner at first is not paying that much attention with a left-handed hitter. You have to know the catchers that throw, and Centeno is one of those.
0-2 to Joyce. Powell has a good lead. Not running. And a swing and a miss. So Joyce goes down swinging on a couple of pitches down and in. So that's 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Now the big sweeping breaking ball starts out, ends up inside, and Too close for Matt Joyce to take, and as it turned out, it just kept moving to the back foot. Well, Major League Baseball is doing everything they can to try to encourage the youth to play. Of course, having the big leaguers go to Williamsport. They have the nicknames coming up this coming next weekend with all the players around baseball for 3 days wearing uniforms with their nicknames on the back. And they can designate on a white piece of tape as somebody they're playing for, somebody's been instrumental in their career.
It's really a good idea.
Yeah.
What's happening today in Williamsport, very, very cool. It's a great idea. And, you know, you got to give the big league players credit, too. I think it's not an easy trip, but you get the feeling that they were enjoying themselves.
But, you know, that's a good point you made, because they were playing. They get on a plane flying today. Day of game. Normally, you always get in the day before, spend the night at the hotel in the place where you're playing. But it's almost like when, I know we went a couple of times down to Birmingham, Huntsville to play our minor league teams as a major league, go in, play exhibition. We'd fly in the day, have lunch, play the game, leave after the game, on to the next city. These two teams are actually playing a game that means something.
Yeah, this is the real deal. Yeah. Cardinals, Pirates, two division rivals. But there's a great shot of Andrew McCutchen, who's a very well-known player. Terrific. You know, kids love Andrew McCutchen, and he's kind of standing in the stands. He's just standing there, kind of in the walkway, and he's just watching the game.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's and a lot of the players were sitting along, just down past the dugout in the front row.
Dallaire brings up a good point that because the World Series is going on, maybe the hotel's availability was not that great, because you have all these teams coming in from all over the world, taking up the space. But I would think this had been planned far enough in advance that if they really wanted to stay, they probably could have reserved some rooms at the hotels. But regardless, it's a great gesture by Major League Baseball and Commissioner Manfred to get this program going, and maybe something that's going to be ongoing in the future.
High pop-up should reach the seats, and it will. And the count remains 2-2 to Lowry, who struck out in the first inning.
Was it last year that they played a game in the military base with the stadium for military at a military base? Well, for those players who, I don't know the two teams, but some players who maybe played in the Little League World Series.
Lance Lynn, I know Lance Lynn, the pitcher for the Cardinals, played in the Little League World Series, and now he's back at that field
as a major league player.
That's pretty awesome. So Lowry strikes out. A's get a leadoff hit, nothing else. Bottom of the third coming up. Athletics 2, Astros nothing.
.com@bat is your #1 mobile app for live A's baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get A's home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, statcast, news, and more. Download MLB.com/at-bat today. Don't take my water bottle.
Come on, I need that. It's hot and humid. I need that. Give that to me.
That's right. Hydrate. Well, the A's offense may be just exactly what we saw. So, come on, Jarrell. Have a good game.
Facing Marisnick, Springer, and Bregman. And that one is drilled toward left center field. Nobody's going to get it. One hops the outfield fence in left center in front of the A's bullpen. And Marisnick has a leadoff double. So Jake Marisnick does quite a bit of damage out of that ninth spot.
He does. Well, they want him for his defense, which he plays great in center field. But what he does at the bat with his speed, and he's kind of a hidden entity in the bottom part of the order. 14 home runs, 33 driven in as a part-time player. But he was standing at second, thinking about third after a round of first base. He knows it's in the gap, thinking three. He's going to settle for two. But a ball hit on the infield. We saw Friday night. He almost beat it out. Just a routine ground ball. You have to respect his speed.
So ninth double for Marisnick. He's got 14 home runs. And you think about that, Ray. We talk a lot about how good this Astros offense is. But it allows them to play a very, very good defensive player in center field and bat him ninth.
Right.
So it's defense first in center field. But then you can also, you're not hitting him in a spot where he probably shouldn't be hitting. You're hitting him ninth. Then he gives you 14 home runs.
And this guy can be the DH today and still lead off. George Springer, he's 28 home runs.
Marisnick is well above average in center field.
Absolutely. Probably, if on another team, he might be playing every day. If you're looking strictly for defense, because he has the speed, can cover the ground, strong arm.
He was thinking about going. He was dancing well off. And Marisnick's, he's a big guy, but he runs pretty well. So Astros, their offense, listen, it's been terrific this year. Lead the majors in runs, home runs, average, doubles. It's pretty relentless. And I still marvel at the fact that they have struck out the fewest times in the American League. That with the fact that they have good team speed, so they put a lot of pressure on you. And we've seen it in this series rate. They've only struck out 6 times in what is now 20 innings in this series.
Well, and this is different for Marisnick at second with nobody out versus what we've seen Altuve at second with 2 outs, not paying attention to it.
That one popped right over our head.
Springer, while he may be thinking about opposite field, he's up there to swing the bat and maybe with his power to make it a tie game versus trying to get Marisnick over to third. He may change that approach now with 2 strikes. A pretty good pitch to hit on 2 and 1 that popped it up.
So 2-2 to Springer. Hit on one hop to Lowry. Lowry glances toward Marisnick, but Marisnick read it well, and he goes to third. So Springer does his job.
Well, the point you just made, we'll see what the A's defense are probably going to play back, but the one thing about what you want as a pitcher, now it's a strikeout, and a team that doesn't strike out that much, this should be a run for the Astros, unless Bregman pops one straight up on the infield. Because any ground ball is going to score Marisnick from third. Just a play that you're going to concede the run unless the ball maybe is hit to Olsen at first.
So the first pitch just missed to Bregman. Bregman hit a fly ball to center field in the first.
I think it might help the A's if Marisnick goes on contact, the ball's back to the pitcher, then they could get him. But for the team that does not strike out much, this should be a 2-1 game for the A's.
So now 2-0. On deck is Altuve. straightaway defense for Bregman. Backing up is Pinder. Pinder grabs it. Step in the warning track. Look at Pinder's arm. Nothing you can do about it, but he showed it off a little bit as Marisnick comes in to score. So Bregman with a good at-bat gets a sacrifice fly, and it's 2-1.
So that's a very good inning for the Astros, and for the A's, not much they could do about it. Get a leadoff double, ground ball to second, fly ball to right field, and you have 1 run. You get a postseason, those are the type of runs that help you win ball games. Because you're going to hit home runs, but not as many as you might during the regular season. But the manufactured runs will help you win in a short series, and the Astros just proved they could do it.
And I mean, when you look at not only their lineup, but the individuals in their lineup, I think they definitely have the ability to create runs if needed. Exactly. And that'll help them.
That's right.
They are not, even though they hit a lot of home runs, they are not just reliant on the home runs, and that's all they do. They could steal bases if they want.
Still look back to the World Series that only one of the Angels have ever won, and Mike Scioscia used small ball along with the big ball, but mostly small ball to win the World Series. Still say too that, I mean, it probably will never happen, has never happened statistically, but if a hitter gives himself up, if he bunts the ball, it's a sacrifice. If he hits the ball to the right side, Vance is running to third, it's 0 for 1. But there's some things that you should at least, and typically if you win, those little things are going to help you win, and it's all going to come out at the end that you help the team, because it's noticed more when you're on a successful team. The little things that help you manufacture a run. You give yourself up, it's an 0 for 1.
3-1 to Jose Altuve. Sweet.
Trying to tie the game. That was the cut fastball from Jarrell Cotton. Good time to throw it. Look at this big swing by, I mean, this is a I'm going to tie the game swing.
Hey, did he get permission from the A's to wear white spikes?
I know. How about that?
Doesn't he have to call like Steve Vucinich and get permission?
That's right. The more and more we're saying it, and that's not. They said as long as it's 51% of your team colors.
So that's clearly.
That's clear to white shoes.
Clearly not 51%.
That's right.
Slowly hit to Simeon, who comes in, fields it, throws in time, side retired. A run for the Astros. We're through 3 from Houston. The A's 2 and the Astros 1. The Oakland A's into your X1 voice remote to get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. That's Tranquility Park. Just looking at it calms me down. On a warm Sunday in Houston. So if you walk by there, by the time you get to the end,
you just spit now because of humidity.
You're just talking and walking.
Get me saying,
tranquil.
Why is it so hot?
Houston in August.
I'm just so tranquil right now.
Mellow you out.
Just mellowing out.
0-2 now to Ryan Healy. Healy, Olsen, and Pinder here in the top of the 4th inning.
I wonder how Birdie felt going out and making that, filming that, be able to show us.
It's amazing. Our fine director, Mike Bird, gets out early in the morning and gets those shots for us, no matter what the weather conditions.
As the sun was coming up, Birdie was out there.
Swing and a miss by Healy. So that's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Brad Peacock. He has 6 now in the game.
It's almost like Peacock does not want his defense to get involved after the 1st inning. This is a big sweeper, and it's kind of a drop down sweeping breaking ball, and there's your 3/4 Kipe, and the ball is not a strike. You just have to recognize it, and you can see the rotation, the spin of the ball, and you see him dropping down, and it's breaking that much. It's going to continue to break. It's not going to stop. If you like Pinder makes a mistake in the middle of the plate, you react on it.
J.D. Davis makes the catch in foul territory. So did that
hit something?
I thought it did too.
Must have hit a side.
But what it hit, I do not know. But
Matt
Olsen is standing.
No play. Yeah, it hit something. But I don't know what though. The sky wire that's coming, it's below us, but that went up
back
very
behind the screen.
That went up high and then all of a sudden came straight down. So there's something, because he's still at the plate. Watch this. He goes up, and then all of a sudden here it comes down. It's almost like hitting a catwalk, but there's art.
Well, isn't that a mystery?
It hit something.
Yeah, it's not going to hit. I mean, the roof is too high. There's nothing up there. It had to be a cable somewhere.
See how he reacted? And then all of a sudden it's down. That ball was way up high.
Huh. Well, there's cables going from the backstop to, and they go back up kind of over our head, and they go down to the dugout, and that's it. Well, we'll figure it out. So 2-2 the count to Matt Olsen. Matt Olsen was standing there, and he knew before everybody that something wasn't quite right.
Albert Ford said it hit the roof. Albert Ford's on radio, and he's indicated that that is a long
way.
And they're here all home games. Robert Ford and Steve Sparks on the radio next to us.
Well, I mean, it looks like it would almost be impossible, but that makes more sense.
The way he swung, it was going up.
Yeah.
But it just did not think it would go that high.
And there's just, it was not going to hit one of these cables that's right in front of us. So,
well, there's kind of an arc that's above. See the arc? Maybe that's the part it hit because it's a lower part, not the real upper part of the roof. Another one?
Yeah, heads up. You don't know where it's going to come down. Fisher goes over into left center field. He grabs it. So 2 away. And that'll bring up Pinder. So we do see that occasionally down in St. Petersburg. That's the first time we've seen it here.
Here, yeah, exactly.
Pinder had a base hit in the second. Lined to singled into left field. He's with 5 hits in the game. 2 runs, one of those runs unearned in the very first inning. Well, Peacock is really outside of that one play. He's pitched extremely well. But right now, that one play is the difference in the game with the score 2-1. So 1-2 the count. 63 pitches for Brad Peacock. All 3 of the Astros starters have been very good in this series. Keuchel, McHugh, and now Peacock. And a fastball at 92 miles an hour, and that's a swing and a miss. 7 strikeouts through 4 innings for Brad Peacock. Still 2-1 A's as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by 21st Amendment. Join our August Fest party on August 26 from 12 to 6. Visit 21stamendment.com for details.
Bottom of the 4th inning, it's 2-1. The A's lead the Astros. What's in there, you think?
Alligators.
This looks scary.
Yeah. I don't even want to put my foot in there.
No, do not. Do not.
They're probably in there trying to cool off in Tranquility Park.
Mellow out. Reddick terrific here at home, a .333 average in his new home.
Change.
Reddick walked back in the first inning. He was 2 for 6 in the series with an RBI. So we did kind of get what actually happened on that Matt Olson foul ball. It did hit one of those very large metal support beams up there. It's not really a beam, it's kind of an arc shape. Olson will take it, and if it hits that, it's considered foul territory. It was very close as Reddick was hustling, and Olson just kind of trotted over. And give Reddick some credit. Cotton was almost in the way, and Reddick almost beat it out.
Well, it was here last year that Reddick. Reddick hustled and forced an overthrow by Correa, and the A's ended up scoring an extra run just because of his hustle. And Josh does that a lot out of frustration.
That's true, but at least he does it.
Still, he does it. Exactly. He doesn't take the frustration out by jogging to first base.
First pitch to Gonzalez in first strike. Yeah, so the ruling is if it hits one of those metal supports and the support is in foul territory, then it's a dead ball.
And that's what it is. Yeah, that's the only place it's going to be, because if you hit one in play, it's a line ball, but that's a long way up.
Yeah, those supports are higher in the kind of the middle of the field, but the ones that are in foul territory are just a little bit lower. And the Astros radio guy says it does happen.
On the left side, third base, but he seemed to think on the right side it's higher, and you don't. They have not seen. He said in 5 years, he said maybe 8 times a year the ball will hit in foul territory and come straight down, and it's.
But it's always in that spot where it did happen, because the support is just a little bit lower, a little closer to the field.
But you can tell the swing
that
of the hitter
right there. That's the one I'm talking about.
And Olsen got under it when he makes contact, and you can tell it went straight up, and then all of a sudden Davis is right under it. So something had to happen, which it did.
Good pitch there by Cotton, got in on the hands of Gonzalez, 2 away.
Cut fastball is working very nicely today for Gerard Cotton, and it's a good pitch. He showed it to Altuve with a big swing on 3-1. Then that pitch, the cutter ran in the hands of the left-hander.
First pitch to J.D. Davis is a swing on this. Davis grounded to short in the 2nd inning. Big season in the minor leagues for J.D. Davis. 26 home runs and 78 RBIs. And it was splitting time between AA and AAA. 282 batting average. The Astros AAA team is in Fresno. So spent some time in some hot weather in the valley as well.
There's another Davis that played for the Astros, but it was Glenn Davis, who was a pretty powerful hitter. To play for the Orioles.
One-two pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So that's the first strike on the ball game for Gerard Cotton. That's his second 3-up, 3-down inning. Here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. Check out Matt Chapman. These are the numbers since the All-Star break among American League rookies. He leads American League rookies since the break in home runs, RBIs, runs, and doubles. and hitting .261. Again, all those numbers since the All-Star break. So he is settling in nicely as the A's third baseman.
And once again, he's seeing these pitches for the first time, and it's just going to get better for him to be able to just react on pitches that he sees from pitchers he's never seen before. And that's quite an accomplishment for him. This Tony Pena catching? Was that literally sitting down behind home plate to catch him? Tony Pena, one of the first ever to do that. Now 2 strikes, he probably won't do it, but shouldn't do it. But up to that point, he's literally sitting down to give a low target. He won't do it. Should.
Right there, strike 3 call. Outside corner. That's a pretty good pitch by.
But check this out, guys. I mean, this is some flexibility. Look at that. He's got his left knee tucked back. He's sitting down. Oh, it hurts just watching. I used to be able to do it, but no.
See, I picture you doing that like in your living room, just like watching TV.
Not now.
Okay.
Not now. Especially when he got up by pushing on his left knee that was curled under.
Yeah,
got himself out. No, that just didn't work.
So 8 strikeouts now for Peacock, and here's Garneau, and that's a strike. Peacock painting the corners right now. Garneau struck out swinging in the 2nd inning.
Garneau's first game was Paul Blackburn was the pitcher in Anaheim. Combined 5-0 shutout. Did a very good job. And again, scouts raving about his ability to be kind of quiet and soft behind the plate and do a good job handling a pitching staff.
2-1 the count.
I always thought that since your pitcher is one of your most important players on the field, why not have a catcher that you're combined with those two that help you win ball games? And pitcher is not going to hit the American League anyway, so you need to have pitcher and catcher battery that does the job to prevent the other team from scoring. Except getting hit on the face mask. And all the protection they have still doesn't protect enough for the catcher with the foul balls off the mask. It's more of the jolt.
Broken bat. Garneau will get a new piece of lumber. Peacock ran that one right in on the hands. There's our guy again.
Yeah,
he didn't learn his lesson, did he? He got reprimanded by one of the ushers.
Well, foul ball, it's okay. And the usher's standing right.
Again. What are you doing, dude?
He's right with it.
I just told you. So 3 innings ago, this guy got reprimanded for doing this. He doesn't listen, Ray.
No.
He just doesn't listen.
No. If you want a ball bad enough for your lady friend, go buy one.
And it's a walk. So the A's have a 1-out base runner, and that breaks a stretch of 7 consecutive A's hitters retired.
Garneau walked a couple of times in his last start, ended up scoring 2 runs. Well, not his last start. It was back at the Coliseum against the Royals. Duffy walked him twice, and he scored. There's your old theory, though, Kai. 9th place hitter getting on base. Marisnick did it, scored a run. Now Garneau is trying to do it.
Don't sleep on that 9th spot.
Especially in the American League where there's no pitcher hitting. You can in the National League.
First pitch to Powell, a little bit outside. Angels leading the Orioles 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning in Baltimore. That's where we're headed. The Angels trying to win that series. That's the rubber game. Also the final game of that long road trip for the Angels, and they've had a good trip. They're 6-2 on this road trip, and they will head home for a 10-game homestand, and they got a big series starting tomorrow night at the Big A. The Texas Rangers are in town.
Consider where they started the injuries. They got Andrew Heaney back, but Richards is out. They've got so many injuries, but there they are, right in the thick of things in the wild card. And who knows what they can do going down the stretch and in October if they get there.
3-0 now to Boog Powell. And you know what? We showed you those wild card standings, and the Rangers are also a game and a half out.
Yeah.
So the Rangers, the Mariners, and the Angels are all obviously fighting for that second wild card spot as Boog Powell takes a walk. So back-to-back walks here in the 5th inning. Those are the first 2 walks in this game by Peacock, so he's going to get a visit from Brent Strom.
Brent Strom out here early this morning for the simulated game. I guess Brent's Colors did pitch this morning. They also had photo day for the players.
But those 3 teams, Ray, that are in the division and fighting for that wild card got me to thinking that the A's are going to have something to say about this wild card, because the A's still have 10 games left with the Texas Rangers. They have 6 games left with the Mariners and 6 games left with the Angels.
That's right. And with the exception of the trip back to Boston, Philadelphia, and Detroit, you've got the Western Division teams, which is the way it should be down the stretch.
Francis Marquez starts to throw.
He's another starter that faced the A's. Well, this is for Marcus Semien. You've got Brad Peacock, who's walked back-to-back batters, 9-1. Last 4 pitches, 5 pitches been out of the strike zone. You can either gear up for a pitch down the middle, which he may try to throw for a strike, be ready to hit it, or be patient.
On the outside corner. So Semien hits for the 3rd time, a single and a run score, and he has popped to second. So 2 on, 1 out. Opportunity for the Athletics. And he chased it. It's 0-2.
Well, you think about his pitches to Boog Powell, all fastballs, all outside. To the right-handed batter, he's able to finish his pitches, although maybe out of the strike zone, but he's got the hard slider that is strong. He may do it again, just keep going out farther.
And that one is looped towards short. Not in time at second base. So Bregman grabbed it in the air in a very close play at second, but Garneau was able to just get back. It was close.
Guess what? They're on the phone. Yeah, I thought he got it, to be honest, but just barely safe. And that's the crew chief making the call at second base, Jerry Lane, and taking a look to see. At that point, looked like he had him, but it's bang bang, and they're going to take a look at it.
Hey, after what happened last night to end the game, if I was AJ Hinch, I'd ask for everything.
But you know what? Again, we're back to the old definitive stage. Was there enough to indicate it wasn't as if? Now watch the hand and the foot, same time. If the tip of the fingers got on, and should be able to say, not definitive, that his foot got to the bag before the hand.
I think he's out.
We have to call him out. It doesn't matter because AJ will get a crew chief review later. She got last time. Watch the fingertips. A lot of times they're going with the hands and fingers up to avoid jamming the fingers in the bag. Let's hope this time the fingertips are on it right there before the foot, or at least at the same time, and maybe it would be upheld.
Again, he was called safe. And the Astros have challenged him.
Mr. Crew Chief, what do you have on the field? Safe.
So they have called him out. So the call is overturned, and it's a double play for the Astros to end the top of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Fisher, Centeno, and Marisnik. 2-1 the A's lead. It gets brought to you by T-Mobile. How about Rafael Devers? Quite a story. He's not even 21 years old yet. He's already got 8 home runs in 20 games. Home runs, no big deal for Mike Trout. He's got 26 on the season. He's got 26 home runs in 78 games. And Nelson Cruz reaches the 100 RBI mark, 3rd time in his career as he got to that number last night. Cruz having a big season. Only Nolan Arenado has more RBIs in all of the big leagues. Arenado has 105 for the Rockies.
August the 20th. Amazing.
So Derek Fisher to lead it off. 6 in a row retired by Jarrell Cotton.
They thought the Red Sox were going to make a move for a 3rd baseman, then they brought up Devers.
It was good enough.
They don't need to give up anybody. Let Sandoval go. The Giants signed him for the minimum salary. But the Red Sox pay his full salary.
One away here in the 5th. The Red Sox leading the Yankees 2-1. That game in the 5th inning in Boston. After that game, the Red Sox are going to head to Cleveland. So that's kind of the big series this week. Red Sox at Cleveland, 4 games. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 2 teams that certainly look like they will be in the postseason. Hard to imagine that both those teams would not be in.
Well, and unless
that's a good series.
Yeah, and unless they one of those teams overtakes the Astros for the best record, they would go 1st round. Wild card to play the Astros.
That's a good call, yeah.
And that would be it. And of course, it's been Cleveland and Boston in the past. Remember, 07, Eric Wedge had a 3-1 lead. Red Sox won 3 in a row. Beat the Colorado Rockies in the World Series.
Powell grabs it. How about that? 5-game series.
That's
the
right.
Indians and the
That's
Red
right.
Sox. Ooh.
Yeah, you got Chris Sale going number 1. Kluber also from Tribe. I mean, you got 2 strike. Well, the 2 top strikeout kings in the American League going head to head probably in game 1.
Yep. And probably again in game 5 if they got that far.
That's right.
Two outs for Marisnik. He doubled and scored in the 3rd inning. The Rays are leading the Mariners 3-0 as the Rays trying to salvage a game in that series. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning in St. Petersburg. The Mariners have won 4 in a row. Mariners, of course, on that long road trip, which we talked about the other night, a 12-game trip, 4-city trip. So they will leave St. Petersburg and they will head to Atlanta for a 3-game series starting tomorrow night.
We'll get to see the new stadium.
That's right.
He's had the Braves in Oakland, so did not get a chance to see the new stadium in Atlanta. It opened this year.
One-two pitch and a good changeup and another good inning for Cotton. 9 in a row retired by the A's young right-hander. 6th inning coming up. 2-1 A's.
Ballpark plans. Visit oaklandballpark.com where you can get a voice in the shaping of the ballpark plan in Oakland. Being rooted in Oakland starts with you, so help us by visiting oaklandballpark.com today. That's oaklandballpark, all one word, .com today. Should be fun. New ballpark coming up. The announcement should be coming up. Let's see, this is August. He said by the end of the calendar year. That's December 31st. So who knows when it's going to happen.
There's the pitch usage for Brad Peacock. Lots of sliders, which, well, that was what we were told. He's using his slider, kind of a new pitch for him, and he's using it very effectively this year.
And he's got it working effectively against the right-handers, which lefties to Joyce. He did it last time, striking him out. There it comes again, back door.
Reddick waits. Now he trots in and over a little bit, so Joyce just out ahead of that one, and that's out number 1 in the 6th inning. Well, you can now stream the A's on the go with NBCSportsCalifornia.com and the NBC Sports app, presented by your Northern California Honda dealers. So 1 away, and here's Lowry. Well, these two teams will play 2 more series against each other. See, just 1 more. I stand corrected. It's a 4-game series at the Coliseum, and it's 4 games because there's a doubleheader. These two teams got rained out at the Coliseum on Easter Sunday.
September the 9th on Saturday. It's a regular doubleheader.
That's right. So just 1 more series to play. September 8, 9, and 10. And as Ray said, the 9th, that Saturday, is the doubleheader. One and 2 to Lowry, who's clearly unhappy.
Well, the breaking ball, they called it a check swing. Whatever the decision, then the definition of a check swing for the third base umpire, Brian Addington.
I hope we're saying it correctly.
Addington.
We don't want him to be mad at us. He's a big, tall, scrapping fella. Lowry has struck out a couple of times, both swinging. Peacock misses badly there.
Hey, guess who hit another home run today for the Marlins?
The big fella?
Yes, he did. 45.
Giancarlo?
And he's got a month plus to go. He said he wants 61, 62.
He said that's the record.
That's the record.
What are you going to do? Argue with the guy?
It's just too big to argue.
Yeah. But the funny part about that is, however you feel about that is one thing, but Bonds was his hitting coach last
exactly
year.
And that is the record. 73 is the record.
And I listen, Stanton he seems like, from what everybody tells you, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I don't think he's trying to cause any controversy, but he's fun to watch, man. Base hit. Lowry gets one through.
Same breaking ball that Boog Powell hit leading off the game. 2 strikes. It's a very good fastball from Peacock, but this breaking ball coming right into the swing. And when it's a left-handed hitter, the breaking ball is coming right into him. Against the righty, it's going away, so it's more advantageous for a lefty to hit the pitch than it is for a right-hander.
So here's Healy. That is hit number 6 for the A's. The Astros have just 1 hit.
Double by the 9th place hitter. That's it.
A little bit inside. Healy has singled and struck out. And now he's sitting in a 2-0 count. Peacock's not a guy who's going to throw 120 pitches. His last 3 starts, he's thrown 99, 93, and 89. Missed again, and now it's 3-0.
Strike zone's moving around a little bit. That's good news for the A's because those pitches have been called strikes early.
Is up again. And a 3-0 swing by Healy, and he rolls it foul.
Ball 4.
Olsen waits in the on-deck circle. 3-1 pitch. Off the glove of Davis, and it's picked up by the shortstop Bregman. His throw across the diamond is late, and everybody's safe. J.D. Davis tried to handle that in-between hop. Couldn't do it.
That'll be a base hit as he went to his left and see a little stutter step, and that's what cost him probably if he'd just gone after it. And right-handed had to hustle because that was a good throw by Bregman from the outfield grass. Bare-handed as it was. A.J. Hinch may be going to the bullpen. A brisk walk by.
And he is. So 94 pitches for Brad Peacock, and that's going to do it. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition and its 30 NorCal locations. Professional health and nutrition advice available for all ages.
So the A's trying to add on here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 on, 1 out. The new pitcher is Francis Martez, who the A's saw earlier this year, Ray, as a starter.
Yeah, back on June the 20th, and that was at the Coliseum. Won 8-4, 5 2/3 innings against Sonny Gray, who went just 5 innings in the game, gave up 5 runs.
For Brad Peacock, 5 1/3. 2 runs allowed, 1 earned, and he finishes at 94 pitches. So Martez's first pitch is a strike to Olsen. Olsen 0 for 2.
Martez could be a good reliever. He throws upwards of 98, 99 miles per hour with a fastball, slider and changeup, but very, very good fastball, and maybe that's why A.J. Hinch brought him in.
Good pitch there, 95, and it's quickly 0-2. Francis Martez. He's a youngster. He's just 21 years old. He won't turn 22 until November. 6 foot, 250 pounds. Olson had a good rip that time. It looked like Olson was looking for a fastball, and he got one. Olson has struck out and hit a fly ball to left field. Line drive, center field, base hit. Here comes Marisnick. Lowry's being held. Marisnick's throw, one hop to the plate, and it's a good one. And the A's have the bases loaded. So Olson picks up his first hit. That's the 3rd consecutive hit for the A's here in the 6th inning.
Well, once again, guy throws 97. What does he do? Throws a breaking ball, speed up the bat, 85. And Matt Olson, a very good hitter, good eye. And we've seen it more and more, but ball hit too hard. Marisnick, a very strong arm, and nothing could be done. And Steve Scarzone had to hold the runner.
So here's Pinder. Lowry at 3rd, Healy at 2nd, Olson at 1st. First pitch to Pinder is a swing and a miss. Foul tip. Pinder had a base hit in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. That one pops off the glove of Centeno, but he hustles after it.
And he's lucky when they clanked the ball that it just didn't keep rolling, because there's a dirt path between the dugout and home plate. The ball hit off his mitt, closed it a little bit too quickly, and see, it started on the dirt. He got to it with a slide. Otherwise, it could have kept rolling towards the dugout. Usually, it's kind of a slant from home plate over to the dugouts. And
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Centeno cannot handle this one. Lowry comes in to score. It was not a foul ball. Popped right off the glove of Centeno, and the A's get a run. It's 3-1.
He's talking to him. I wonder if he crossed him up, because that was just a high fastball. It took off on him. It's going to be a pass ball, and he was looking for something else. Evidently, he went to talk to his pitcher, but it just clanked off his mitt. And it's got to be a pass ball. It should be. It heads up base running, because it's swing and a miss, no foul ball.
So the count is 2-1. Rolled toward first. Gonzalez is coming home, and the throw a little up the line, but Centeno hangs in there, and he puts the tag on Healy.
And there's nothing they could do, because Centeno had to go after the ball, and that took him into the runner. And it's going on contact, and that's the reason he took off, with the contact. And the throw right there, and you're right. Centeno did not have enough time to put his right hand on the glove of the baseball.
That's big fella coming down the line, too.
And he could have hit him, because he had the ball in his glove. Anytime it happens, see, a lot of players don't know that if the catcher does have the ball in the path, he's open target. They try to go around it. But I think sometimes the rule is misinterpreted from the player standpoint. Runner at 3rd.
So now it's up to Chapman. 1 run in for the A's as they lead 3-1. Olson is now the runner at 3rd with Pinder at 1st. There's a strike. 1-1 count. 96 miles an hour from Marquez. Chapman has popped to second and struck out looking. Outside corner, 1-2.
It's a pretty good arm. This kind of a fastball, especially paying outside corner at that velocity.
Got him looking. 96 miles an hour again. Chapman just did not pull the trigger. So the A's get 1 run on 3 hits. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 3-1. A's lead the Astros.
Favorite Dennis Eckersley. That's at 4 p.m. on Friday, August the 25th. Members of X-Family and former teammates Ricky Henderson, Carney Lansford, Mike Moore, Terry Steinbach will be there to attend the festivities. Also join us for Dennis Eckersley Day on Saturday, the 26th, when 15,000 fans will receive a Eckersley bobblehead. It's presented by Chevron Extra Mile. You can visit athletics.com/tickets. Athletics.com/tickets. I advise you to get there. Should be a great weekend of baseball with the nicknames on the back of the players' uniforms. Dennis Eckersley, Reed Amy D-Gate, bobblehead on Saturday, and just a 3-game homestand against the Texas Rangers next weekend.
Top of the order for the Astros. Jarrell Cotton has settled in nicely. He's retired 9 in a row. He's only allowed 1 hit.
See the cut fastball. Yep. So essentially 52 pitches of some fastball variety, which is still a cut, which has worked very well for him. That's the pitch that caused the blister.
So Springer, Bregman, and Altuve. So an important inning for Cotton. He's had 73 pitches. He's got 2 walks and 2 strikeouts so far. Springer takes a strike. So 1-2.
Brad Peacock, 3 runs, only 1 earned. The pass ball is an unearned run.
Chapman scoops it up, and that's out number 1.
And Jarrell Cotton settling down very nicely in this game. And was pitching in the 6th inning. The pitch counts down. A lot of pitches in the 1st inning, but settled down after that. That's a very good ratio for him with 75 pitches thrown.
And shutting down the best offense in the American League.
That's right. A couple of strikeouts the last 2, as a matter of fact, did come on the changeup.
There's a base hit to center field.
And there's a cutter that stayed up.
So Bregman has a 1-out single. It's his 4th hit in this series.
Watch his pitch stay up right in the middle of the plate, and very hittable for Bregman. as it goes to left center with a hanging cut fastball.
So here's Jose Altuve, who has popped to first and grounded to short. He's 4 for 9 in the series. Bregman, the runner at first, does have 13 steals this year. He's been thrown out 5 times, so good speed there. One runs off the plate inside.
Got to think with right-handed batters how much the runners will be running. In the case of Altuve, who has power even for the small frame that he has, but also might see the small ball played by A.J. Hinch just to see if the runner can be on the move.
There's a strike on the outside corner. Pitchers are getting that pitch called today from Dan Bellingham. That changeup misses badly. As the A's head to Baltimore, the Astros will stay home. They will host a good Nationals team Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that's good series too. Interleague between the Astros and the Nationals. Altuve takes, and it's 3-1.
Actually, 2 teams that could be meeting in the World Series, no question. Both teams have a complete package.
I think it's easy to talk about the Dodgers for very good reason. They're playing unbelievable baseball. I would not want to play the Nationals.
No. They can get there. I mean, they have a bunch of injured players as well, but you figure they're going to get healthy by the postseason.
Because you're going to have to face Scherzer and Strasburg. That's right. And Gio Gonzalez is pretty good.
Gio Roark.
Tanner Roark is pretty darn good. I mean, you know, I think Dodgers will always be the favorites, but
I remember
the
they
Nationals are pretty darn good.
Added 3 relievers in the back end of the bullpen,
right.
and Madsen and Doolittle from the A's, Kinsler from the Twins, their closer.
3-1 pitch inside. He walked it. So here come the Astros. 2 on and 1 out.
Well, our Nissan keys the game, top of the list for Jarrell Cott to avoid the big inning. This is where he has to settle down. A couple runners on base with the 2 walks in the first inning. Got out of it, but the second walk came with 2 outs. Scott Emerson going to the bullpen, at least calling down to the pen.
So they'll start moving around out in the A's bullpen. That's out in left center field. So the league against Jarrell Cotton hitting .323 with runners in scoring position. And here's Reddick. And that was a cross-up, and it did not hurt the A's.
And it was a strike.
It may have been, you're right.
It's right in the middle of the plate. But it's hard. Look at the location of this pitch. I mean, it's right there. And he was lucky fastball, got a breaking pitch, kind of went with it and kept it in front of him. As we always say, it's where the ball crosses the plate for the home plate umpire, not where the catcher brings it back into the strike zone.
So Chris Hatcher starts to throw. He pitched on Friday night. Popped up. Chapman over. Chapman reaches in. He cannot quite get it. He needed another 6 inches.
Coliseum, it's a can of corn. He's got the rail, braces himself, goes in and trying his best. And Marcus Jensen, his assistant coach, with his hand up and saying, "Okay, kid." Or is that Chris Smith? Chris Smith. I don't think they wanted to get in front of him. They just put their hands up.
Swing and a miss, and now it's 1-2. On deck is Marwin Gonzalez.
Well, he's got a good changeup, and as I mentioned, the last 2 strikeouts changeup, and he's pulled the string on this one and just down the middle of the plate. And Reddick thinking fastball, and the pitch mid-80s, and that's a great pitch, especially down in the zone. It looks like a fastball.
Spoiled that one. Double plays have been one of the big stories in this series, and one would look nice right here. Runners take off, and the ball's hit behind first, and they're going to have a double play. Fires to second, and there it is.
Wanted. That's exactly what you called for.
Exactly what we wanted. So the runners were moving, and that time it hurt the Astros and helped the A's.
How about this? Josh Reddick, 2 strikes. Watch the runners. They're both trying to get in scoring position. But Reddick, evidently the ball close enough. He had a swing and a tailor-made double play because Bregman at third base slid. And he was going for the stolen base. He had no idea with 2 strikes, contact made. Where's the ball? He didn't know where the ball was until, oh gosh.
Man.
That's Josh. We love him, man. I mean, he's so into it. I think you have to look at the pitch. Was it a strike? He looked like he threw his bat at the ball, just kind of protecting. And I mean, both base runners looked like they were going to steal easily.
1-1 the count to Dustin Garneau.
You know, if there's less than 2 outs and you're running and you hear contact, you better stop and find the ball instead of going head first and then looking. Here's the pitch. It was a changeup. Oh my! It was almost on the dirt. That was a ball. You know,
you could see he went back.
You know, I wonder if he was distracted by Bregman taking off, because that pitch was hitting me just.
What's back?
Oh, Josh.
He's one of our favorites. What are you swinging at?
The ball almost was in the dirt. Oh. It's like a hit and run with 2 strikes and runners are going, but it's not. I like the intensity of Josh Reddick. That's something that will always be there no matter what. And right now he's playing on a team that, unless a total collapse, which is not going to happen, they're going to be playing in October and get a bye. We'll not have to worry about the wild card. Get ready for the League Division Series.
Check out this catch. Watch the hat.
Oh, wow. You got it.
Youngster.
That's Nolan Ryan. See, Ryan Express can do it all, can he? Yeah.
See, now that's a good effort with the hat. Now we got the guy down the third base line. That's just made a couple of really poor efforts.
Plus, I think the young kid had a clean cap. I don't know if the guy down the third base line. The cap was behind him, wasn't it? And the ball found the cap. What's this?
Hey, it found a home.
And then he gets pumped. A little fist pump. Yeah.
Just totally left him hanging.
Got it.
Yeah. Reddick goes back. That is called being left hanging by a young man.
You know, one thing about Josh Reddick, every fly ball that he's caught in the series, he's used two hands. You notice that? I mean, a lot of guys will just put up the glove and catch it. He catches every ball with the right hand up by the glove. And that's something that you're taught as a youngster. Use two hands when you're catching a fly ball. You don't see a lot of major leaguers do it. Josh Reddick does. And he takes a lot of pride in his defense. But you watch this. This is a real clean fly ball. Glove up, two hands.
It's not coming out.
No. And that's what you like to see all the time, but unfortunately you don't. And there's sometimes the ball is dropped. Saw Aaron Judge do it the other day in Yankee Stadium. Went for it. The ball hit off the heel of his glove instead of getting in front and catching it. But got the Gold Glove in 2012 when he hit over 30 home runs. What, 32 that year? Took the team to the promised land with a great come from behind down the stretch. Exciting season. In fact, this young man is looking forward to the plane ride to Baltimore and getting to Oriole Park at Camden Yards and having his name introduced as Boog.
Yeah, that's going to be a big deal.
And he's looking forward to trying to arrange an interview on Tuesday with John Boog Powell out of Boog's Barbecue.
Sounds like a photo op to me.
Absolutely.
Boog Powell going back to Baltimore.
Well, John Boog Powell makes about 3 of this Boog Powell. Size-wise. But Boog put all of his weight behind every swing. And when he connected, as he would say, it's gone. He was a piece of work.
That's going to be a base hit. So a big night or a big day for Boog Powell. 3 singles and a walk. He's been on base all 4 times.
See, he's pumped. He's ready to go. Let's go to Baltimore. Let's go see Booger. Well, A's have been looking in the head. Matt Joyce doing a good job leading off, but coincidentally today he's not. He's down in the batting order. Actually hitting third, which your better hitters are. So Luke Powell gets his first 3-hit game, and actually 2 of the 3 have come with 2 strikes.
And here's Marcus Semien, who fouls it straight back, a little bit to our right. Ball rattles around.
I think Marcus Semien, although he hit 27 home runs last year, I think he could be in the perfect 2 spot for a hit and run. And especially the right side of the infield open, he's can't go that direction.
And now he's behind in the count 0-2 to Francis Martez. Matt Joyce will be next. 97 miles an hour. Rays beat the Mariners 3-0. Salvage the final game in that series. Snell over Gallardo. That breaks the Mariners' 4-game losing streak, and they are headed to Atlanta. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball from Martez. So that's his second strikeout. The A's have now struck out 10 times.
And after a very good pitch, the pitching coach is going to go out and talk to him. Red Strom.
So the meeting is over. Tez goes for a nice long walk. So all this about Matt Joyce. Joe Musgrove starts to throw. Joyce steps in for his 4th at bat. He's grounded out, struck out, and hit a fly ball. So he's 2 for 9 in this series. One of those hits, a home run. Check swing, and that'll work. And Boog Powell can run as he heads for third. Scarsoni's going to hold him up, and Joyce has a double. Second and third, 2 outs.
That's what Brent Strom said. Don't let him have a check swing double down the left field line. But that's what Matt did. Stopped his swing, kind of half swing. It ends up being an opposite field double. And he's looking for another big hit with 2 outs. That ball had gotten past Fisher in left field. With the speed of Boog Powell, he could have scored.
So they're going to walk Lowry intentionally and face Healy with the bases loaded. So opportunity for the A's to really put a hurting here on the Astros.
That's Powell with the ball in front of him, especially with 2 outs. He was thinking about scoring, but had to be stopped.
Healy is 1 for 3. Make that 2 for 3. 2 singles and a strikeout. And we're going to have another meeting. He's not happy. Are his eyes open or closed under that hat?
I don't know, but I think he buys a case of mustache wax every month because he's got that thing sticking out. I think to
First pitch to Healy is low.
Well, evidently, A.J. Hinch has a lot of confidence in Mr. Martinez to throw strikes because potentially walk about and load the bases. First pitch breaking ball in the dirt.
It's always a little scary. Puts a lot of pressure on everybody. So 1-1 the count as Healy rolled that one foul.
And it's not just a matter of throwing a strike. It's a matter of quality strike. So you don't want to just throw a ball down the middle of the plate.
Yeah, and if you fall behind 2-0, then you're in big trouble. He did get a throw a strike that time. So 1-1. Powell, Joyce, and Lowry are the runners. And this one's popped up. Marwin Gonzalez makes the catch. So Healy pops out, and the A's leave him loaded, and we have reached the 7th inning stretch from Houston. 3-1, the A's lead.
EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By AAA, get a free canvas backpack. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/roadtrip or to a AAA branch for details. By the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
So the A's leading the Astros 3-1, bottom of the 7th inning. Remember, it's the 15th anniversary of the A's historic 20-game win streak. Relive some of the greatest moments of the streak on A's pre- and post-game live. There was plenty of great moments. The celebration on the Scott Hatterberg home run. Steve Vucinich is out there high-fiving. That's always a great scene. Vuce with the coaching shorts on.
And Vuce, if you're back in the Bay Area watching this, because you sent Brian Davis on this trip to work for you. So Vuce, if you're watching, you look great in those shorts.
He's going to be mad at us.
No, he won't. Just to hear his name, he's going to be happy.
If he wants to celebrate,
yeah,
he can celebrate any walk-off he wants.
He can do it as long. I mean, listen, if you're in the media guide next to Connie Mack,
anything you want.
That's right. Bruce, anything you want, you got, because you're next to C-Mac.
If you want to just run out there and high-five people, you can do that. Good 6 innings of work. Great right. 6 innings of work for Jarrell Cotton. 2 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And he's going to face Gonzalez, Davis, and Fisher. 86 pitches for Cotton. He's thrown 100 pitches in each of his last 2 starts. First pitch to Gonzalez is low. Gonzalez is 0 for 2. He's 1 for 9 in this series. That 1 hit, though, was a big one, a 2-run single. And he hits this one high and deep to right field. And that one is gone. Home run number 21 for Marwin Gonzalez. Watch where the pitch is.
Yeah.
It was up and out over the plate.
87 miles an hour, pulled the string, or 90 miles per hour that is, and fastball up. Looked like initially that it was more of a changeup, but it was a high fastball. Fell behind 1-0, and Marwin Gonzalez didn't miss it. And unlike Adam Rosales, Adam could have lapped him twice for this home run. Time it took him around bases, but it was a home run nonetheless, another 1-run game. So the pass ball is huge right now.
Well, here's J.D. Davis. He's Hatcher up again, and he's probably pretty ready to go. First pitch to Davis. He had a good swing. 92 miles an hour from Cotton. That's the 20th home run Cotton has allowed this year in 103 innings. Right to Chapman. And Chapman retires J.D. Davis for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. So here's Fisher. Derek Fisher is grounded out and lined out. Fisher, good minor league numbers, not just this year, but really every year that he has been in the minor league system for the Astros. He was the 37th player taken in the 2014 draft. So it's 3 full years in the minor leagues. Grounds this one right to Marcus Semien, who was well positioned. So 2 away. So game 7 of the 20-game win streak was in Cleveland. And Eric Chavez, didn't he hit 2?
Yeah.
In game 6. And that's Aaron Harang, the big right-hander, striking out Jim Thome. And this is when the race for the baseball happened.
He gone.
Down goes Frazier.
Oh, poor guy.
And that one is looped to left field, and that's a base hit for Centeno. So those highlights were part of win number 7 of the 20-game win streak, and that was in Cleveland.
A softly served to left field, pitch outside. Pitch actually has been called the ball most of the day by Dan Bellino. Bob Melvin's going to be happy with 6 2/3 from Jarrell.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Last 2 starts, Ray Jarrell Cotton much better today.
Really able to utilize all of his pitches. Changeup was very effective a couple of times for strikeouts. Get a sweeping cut fastball to Davis. Good changeup there to Marisnick for the strikeout. Breaking ball to Altuve with a out at first base. Got the double play. Pitched well. As Cotton leaves with a runner at first base. He will not get the loss, has a chance for the victory, and throws 93 pitches, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts, and a very good outing for the young right-hander.
So the new pitcher is Chris Hatcher. Hatcher pitched on Friday night, a couple of innings through 29 pitches. As he faces Marisnick in the first pitches of all. So it'll be the bullpen's job to preserve the 1-run lead. Marisnick doubled and scored in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th. Missed again, 2-0. Angels got a run in the top of the 8th. They lead the Orioles 5-4, going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss. Actually a foul tip. Excuse me. That's Marisnick trying to give the Astros the lead.
Well, he was swinging for the downs, especially 2-0. That's what hitters should do. Look for a fastball, 2-0 count, fastball count, get it, and don't get cheated. He did not get cheated. Just step in and foul it back.
Tried it again, and now it's 2-2. Big guy to get with Springer waiting in the on-deck circle. Marisnick slightly open stance. And that one's hit into right center field. That's a base hit. Centeno digging for third. He's going to make it standing up, and it's first and third, 2 outs.
Trying to go back to slider, and great inside-out swing by Marisnick. Stayed inside the ball and shot it. I think the location stays there. And that's what good hitters will do, and not really get overly aggressive with a couple of strikes. Stayed back, and hey, good job by right fielder Pinder cutting off the ball, because Centeno, you did not want to give him a chance to score. And you run hard to third base knowing that you may be sent. Was not.
So here is Springer, 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That's a .462 batting average. Pitch to Springer is a fastball for a strike. Today, Springer has walked and grounded out twice. He's 2 for 10 in the series. Marisnick just got back. Looked like he may have slipped a little bit as he started to retreat back to first base.
Left foot gave a little bit, but able to get the right hand in safely. Scary moment for a base stealer.
And another close play.
It's a good quick move.
Had a rip. He may have got his pitch to hit right there.
Well, yeah, it's a slider, and the thing is, it's kind of starting then stopping. It's not really breaking sharply, staying right there, and those are hangers and very hittable sliders, as Marisnick found out on 2-strike count.
Hatcher glance toward Marisnick. Now he's going to go over there. Well, you don't want to get too caught up in Marisnick. He's not the guy who can beat you.
Yeah, make another mistake to this hitter, he may beat you. And that's the problem. Maybe start one of the sliders middle of the plate away to try to get him to chase versus starting it at him. Fastball.
2-pitch swing and a miss. He struck him out on a high heater. So 1 run for the Astros. Marwin Gonzalez home run, but a big strikeout for Chris Hatcher. 3-2.
on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear.
So 3-2, we have reached the 8th inning from Houston. So good ball game this afternoon. A game with a lot of pitching, and we've seen that in all 3 games now in the series. The new pitcher is Joe Musgrove. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog expert. So Musgrove comes in. He pitched an inning last night through just 13 pitches.
Well, last night the A's saw a couple of starters. Actually saw a starter, Musgrove, then 2 relievers coming from other teams. One a starter, the other closer. As he closed last night, Clippard. And this afternoon, you got a reliever, sometimes starter. You get March as a starter, and now Musgrove. So A.J. Hinch doing a little bit of Buck Showalter, putting guys down the bullpen from the rotation.
Swing and a miss. As Musgrove took a little bit off. 1-1 the count. Well, when the Astros get the 3 bullpen arms off the disable list, which is Will Harris, he's very good, Tony Sipp and Michael Feliz. Granted, at that point it'll be pretty close to September. But they're going to have a whole host of relievers to choose from to put on their postseason roster.
And they can pick anybody they want. Wow. Speaking of postseason, I mean, this is great experience for the A's. Oof. Hard slider back foot, got him.
So Olson gets first base. He seems to be okay.
I know one of the high fastball. It was up a little bit and just kept. Boy, that's a great shot. That ball does rise, doesn't it? Look at that. Just goes straight up. And a good pitch and a good high fastball, and Springer swung right through it as Hatcher got the strikeout.
Here's Chad Pinder. Pinder swings and misses. Pinder has singled, struck out, and reached on a fielder's choice. This one fouled, rolls back to the screen. White Sox leading the Rangers 3-0, bottom of the 4th in Arlington. Rangers just a game and a half out of the second wild card spot. Texas has all of a sudden started playing well. They've won 8 out of their last 10, the Rangers. Centeno tries to block it, but it rolls away, and Olson will go to second. So the A's have a runner in scoring position and nobody out.
I like to see the heads-up base running. They're not just standing there flat-footed, and we're seeing the young players do a very good job, all the players in general, but this one you anticipate breaking ball in the dirt, and once it happens you take the secondary lead and then take off, which he does as he stutter steps a little bit to the right. And that allows him to just kind of a running start, especially with the ball in the dirt.
So the A's would love to get an insurance run, or maybe more. 1-2 pitch is skied to center, where Marisnick sets up. Olson bluffs tagging, but he's not going anywhere, and that's the first out here in the top of the 8th inning. So Pinder now 1 for 4. And that'll bring up Chapman. Matt Chapman is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today. First pitch is a strike. Chapman has struck out looking both times. Now it's 0-2.
He threw the first pitch breaking ball for a strike middle of the plate, then a chase slider. And now maybe it goes out even farther.
Centeno sets up. Toward third. Davis has it. He's going to have to hurry, and his throw is just in time to get the very speedy Matt Chapman. Extremely close play. Chapman, he could really run.
His college teammate throwing him out, but you're right, out of the box. Davis has the arm strength that his teammate does. Back up though, and that's when you know you have a pretty strong arm. If you can back up, take the bounce, and Chapman sprinter speed.
So 2 outs. Olson still at second, and it's up to Garneau. Swing and a miss. Then it goes through Centeno, and Olson will go to third.
Keeps looking at his catcher's mitt.
Not the mitt.
I don't think it's the mitt, no. But he looked up, and watch his eyes. I mean, he looks up as the ball's going down to the breaking ball, and it should be another passed ball.
And it was. So 0-1 to Dustin Garneau. And that does change the situation, right? With pitcher, how comfortable is he throwing a breaking ball in the dirt when he has seen his catcher miss a couple?
That's right. Especially miss one that's actually called a strike. A lot of times, and again with the breaking ball going down, if the catcher has the palm of the catcher's mitt down, he's going to miss it a lot of times. And take your eye off the ball makes it even harder. Have the palm up, catch it easily.
Foul near home plate. So now it's 1-2. Well, Musgrove and Centeno are going to talk it out. Treinen is throwing out in the A's bullpen. 2 pitch got him swinging. So Musgrove bounces back after hitting the first batter as the A's strand Olson at third. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
Presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Another tight game, 3-10-0 for the A's, 2-5-2 for the Astros. Draw Cotton was very good, 2 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings. He's got a couple of runs on one single play where there was 2 errors made on a ground ball hit by Marcus Semien. That was in the very first inning, and that is looming large as the A's lead 3-2. So Chris Hatcher back out there. He got the big strikeout of Springer to end the 7th. Here he faces Bregman, Altuve, and Reddick. It's hit very high down the right field line. Second level.
Well, this is the interesting part of the game, and for the Athletics, as we mentioned, it's good for the A's players and also good for the Astros, because these are the type of games they're going to be playing in postseason. You got 1-run deficit going late in the game. The A's trying to close it out to pick up a win to avoid a sweep.
Bregman hits a pop-up just in front of us, and Bregman may have swung at a ball. So 1-2 the count. Bregman has hit a fly ball to center field. He has a sacrifice fly, and he has a single. Hatcher spiked it. It hit way out in front of home plate.
And just in case there was a swing, good block by Garneau to make sure with 2 strikes the ball didn't get by him.
Trinan on the left, Coulombe on the right. Center field, and that'll fall for a hit. So Bregman's big series continues. He now has 5 hits in the series, and this is a leadoff single.
And one of those pitches down the lower part of the strike zone, might even been out of the strike zone, but instead went for it. And Bob Melvin's going to go to the bullpen, and really bring in Trinan, it looks like, with the right-hander to face Altuve. Maybe. Yep.
All right. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Canitas Brewing Company Girton Municipal Bond Management, Independent Electric Supply, and Crystal Clear Imaging is the evening of Saturday, August the 26th at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. Proceeds benefit the A's Community Fund, which supports charitable organizations that improve the quality of life for people throughout the Bay Area. To learn more about the A's Community Fund, visit athletics.com. Who are those guys?
Joe Steglich, Bip Roberts, Brody Brazil. Brody used bumpers to get the win. But you know what?
Did he really?
Yeah. She requested bumpers when he got there, and they gave them to him. He got the W. So if he wants to take that W,
he's proudly showing that trophy with the #1 finger, huh?
bumpers.
Bumpers.
I guess
I love it.
winning's more important to some people than others, right? We love Brody. He knows that.
Well, let's see if Altuve can hit one of the Blake Treinen's sinking fastball as he is making his 54th appearance, combined with the Nationals in the Athletics. He sent a parting note to his former teammates when they come in to play the Astros on Tuesday with Steve Perry, the visiting clubhouse manager.
Steve Perry. The former lead singer from Journey?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought, no, okay.
I was going to say.
All right. All right.
Well, I have to ask him
Ray,
about
I
that.
didn't know that. I didn't know you were tight with
No,
the great
no.
Steve Perry, Hall of Famer.
Between rock and roll and football, you got it all, man.
Well, I'm trying to take my mind off my concern that Jose Altuve is hitting.
He's going to hit one of those turbo sinkers into the
hope so.
ground, a little 6-4-3 double play.
Altuve is 0 for 2 with a walk so far today. And that's a strike. Crowd doesn't like it. 34,011 is the attendance today. Let's see if it was a little bit high.
A high slider that in the upper part of the strike zone. Altuve hit that. It might have hit a 2-run home run, so instead they call a strike.
And that's a good pitch by Treinen right on the outside corner at 98 miles an hour. So he jumps ahead of Altuve 0-2. Reddick to follow. Bregman, decent lead at first. Back to Treinen. He spins, he fires to second, and it's dropped by Simeon. He picks it up, gets the out at second base, but Altuve's safe at first. I think he threw him a sinker, right?
Yes, he did. A smile from Marcus Simeon, but you know, Treinen did the best thing. He threw to the bag, and he just happened to throw probably one of his turbo sinkers to second, but right back to him, broken bat, and threw to the bag, and really handcuffed Simeon. But at least he was able to pick it up to get the force out and then throw. Well, that's a bullet from Treinen. But you're taught as a pitcher to throw to the bag. He threw to the bag, maybe to the shortstop side. Now the concern is the runner at first. Could have been a double play.
Reddick slices one, but it's fouled on the left field line.
After the bobble, I mean, it's going to be a hard double play anyway, but once the ball dropped, it was almost impossible at that point.
Reddick is 0 for 2 with a walk. And again foul left side. Altuve does not have a real big lead. He could be just deking us. So Reddick hitting this in this series. He's in this game. He's 2 for 8 in the series.
Well, Altuve could be staying at first base to keep the hole open between first and second, because with the double play possibility, he's got Lowry playing closer to second base.
So 0-2 to Reddick. Altuve not going anywhere, and it's a swing and a miss, blocked by Garneau. So Reddick on 3 pitches strikes out.
He didn't swing at a strike. I think every pitch was out of the strike zone. The first one may be that he flared down the left field line foul, but this one clearly in the dirt. The previous pitch that was high, fouled back, but that's the best way to do it. The hard breaking ball, maybe that's why they talked to say, and Garneau to convince Trinan, you throw it, I'll block it. And he did. And he did. And that was a good strikeout.
So here's Marwin Gonzalez. Well, he's a tough out. He homered in the 7th. The solo shot. He's 1 for 3. Looks like Altuve may have a little bit bigger lead. Would he go here, Ray?
Here's Josh Reddick pitches. There's the first a little bit outside, that one high, and then the one in the dirt. So 97, 92, 88. Hike. Josh, who maybe still thinking about the last at bat when he swung at a pitch that was down, ended up being a double play. Just put a camera on him nonstop.
Delightfully angled.
He's such a good guy. And a pinch hitter coming out of the on deck circle. That would be for Davis. Uriel. Trying to make it a moot point. Get back from the dugout after this foul out.
And that one's down and in. 1-1 the count. Altuve's got 28 stolen bases. He's been thrown out 6 times. Outfield defense straight away for Gonzalez. Altuve short lead. He's only about 2 steps off.
Well, this is the crowding blow against Royal Cotton. One of the pitches that they'd like to have back, a high fastball, 1-0 count, and that's what you do. You load up and expand your strike zone, maybe a little bit out, but up and out for Marwin Gonzalez, who just barely made it around the bases. That was home run number 21, hitting over 300 with 72 runs batted in. Very good season for the switch hitter who plays everywhere.
And that's a strike, 1-2.
Sweeping breaking ball coming back door. Very nicely thrown.
Altuve runs, pitches the ball, throw to second base is not in time. Just a little high was the throw. And that allows Altuve to slide in just ahead of the tag. See if Marcus Semien is okay.
Well, he slid in hard, and again a running jump. I don't know why he's looking back. Just 2 outs, 2 strikes. Quick throw by Garneau, and Marcus Semien. See, the right foot came up and kicked him. He got in safely with the left foot, but the right foot followed through and kicked Semien in the lower part of the left leg. Watch the right foot. Left foot gets in. Let's see. And the left foot actually, as he curled around, got him in the left leg.
So that is the tying run at second base. You just had a feeling that Altuve at some point was going to try to get himself in scoring position, and it worked.
I'd just like to see a pitcher take a double look to stop him, because if they get that little running lead, they get a tremendous jump because of it.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Gonzalez strikes out, and Trinan gets out of the jam. 9th inning coming up. A's hanging on to a 3-2 lead.
The game occurred in the first inning. As my partner said, it's a Little League home run. How about this? Ground ball to deep short. Bregman, bad throw to second. Goes into right field. On the third goes Boog Powell. Reddick's going to throw it in. It's going to be cut off, and a throw to third base. This is going to be a bad throw. Keep running, Marcus. Slide into third and head home. And that's 2 runs, and turns out to be 1 earned run. There's your Jeep drive of the game. That was 2 big runs on an overthrow and an overthrow. A's will take it, especially since it's now a 1-run game.
So it's Tyler Clippard who comes in. So Clippard is the 4th pitcher of the afternoon for the Astros. Clippard got the save last night. And that one is hit high and deep down the right field line, but it's going to hook foul. Tyler Clippard, I've been everywhere indeed. This season, Yankees, White Sox, Astros.
About Juan Pizarro.
Save a game for 3 teams in a season. You got to go back to 1970. Ted Abernathy. Wasn't he a sidewinder?
Yeah, Juan Pizarro, a crafty left-hander.
1-1 the count to Boog Powell, who is 3 for 3 with 3 singles, a walk, and a run score. Not a bad idea. They actually have a shift on for Powell with J.D. Davis, the third baseman, playing like a shortstop who's playing in. Powell, as we know now, he's very fast. Foul territory. The catcher Centeno reaches in and he cannot quite get it.
Only chance he had for that is to go to the rail. He kept drifting with it. Got to go to the rail and then lean over, similar to what Chapman did at third base. Just eluded him. But when you're drifting, and what happens? Wall's going to stop it. And then didn't really have an idea where the ball was. Looked late. And if you'd gotten to the side wall, probably could have reached in and maybe grabbed the ball. He had a tough day. 2 pass balls.
2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. So out number 1 here in the top of the 9th. So the A's now have struck out 12 times.
So it's an ongoing record, right, for the most 10 strikeout games. I mean, you talked about the Hall of Famer with the 10 strikeout games, and you, Darvish, who liked it, but you don't want a team to do it.
Nope. The A's have done it a lot this year. They've struck out the 2nd most times in the American League. Only the Rays have struck out more. The Angels hung on and beat the Orioles 5-4. They got a run in the top of the 8th inning and made it hold up. So that's a good series win for the Angels, who continue to play pretty good baseball. And that malign bullpen worked today. The Angels got 4 shutout innings from their bullpen to get the win. And the Angels, the 2nd wild card team. So the Orioles lose a game. They're now 4 back of the 2nd wild card spot. So that hurts. Clippard grabs it. Got him a cue shot. 2 away. The A's bullpen is quiet, so it's going to be trying it. And for the Astros, they'll have Davis, Fisher, Centeno. On their bench, they have Beltran, a switch hitter. They have Gurriel, and they have Max Stassi.
Well, Gurriel was in the on-deck circle to hit for Davis, but the at-bat never came up with Gonzalez striking out. So we'll see if he pinch hits. I figure there's got to be some. I would say Beltran's going to get in unless he's getting a complete day off.
Down and into Matt Joyce. Matt Joyce is 1 for 4. He doubled in the 7th inning. That one just missed a changeup. Clippard wanted it. may have just been off the plate a little bit.
It's a pitch that's been called by Dan Bellino today.
Missed again, a 2-0 changeup, and now it's 3-0. Lowry hoping to get an at-bat here in the 9th inning. Clippard acquired from the White Sox on the 14th of this month, so less than a week ago. That's a strike, 3-2.
Clippard never afraid to throw a changeup any count. But you have to wonder right now if that's what Matt Joyce is going to get.
Clippard, when he was with the A's, Ray, we saw him pitch enough, right? He was with the A's for 3.5 months or so. And I know from every time I thought he was going to throw a changeup, he'd throw a fastball.
Yeah, no. Well, it's 50-50.
I never guessed right. I would not have been a good hitter against Clippard.
Likes to play golf too. Pretty good golfer.
He's a good golfer. 3-2 pitch, and it was a changeup, 80 miles an hour, just a little bit up. Another 3-2 pitch to Matt Joyce. And another changeup, and it was in the exact same spot.
Yeah, and you could see he sets up in the glove with a two-seam fastball. Then you could see right as he goes into the windup, he changes the grip. Wiggle. Changeup. He's going to do 3 in a row.
And it's low. He walked him.
But he's one pitcher, and you know, I'm still a big believer in multiple changeups in succession. And Clippard is the type of pitcher who can do it.
Yep. Well, it may be his best. I mean, it may be a better pitch for him than his fastball.
Right. It's hard. I mean, you think of great changeup pitchers, and the sneaky fastball is one that you say, "How can I miss it?" Well, it's because you're looking changeup.
Lowry takes a first pitch strike.
The fastball.
Lowry has struck out twice, singled and scored and walked. So he is 2 for 11 in the series. Full shift on for Jed Lowry. Joyce runs and he got a huge jump. Throw to second base. Not in time. So the pitch.
What is it? The old saying that closers don't have good moves. Remember, Clippard's been in the closer role. Joyce took off before Clippard actually lifted the front foot. And plus it was a change up. Not much of a chance, if any, for Centeno.
So we'll see if the Astros pitch carefully to Lowry. Remember, second and third, 2 outs in the 7th inning, they walked Lowry to face Healy. Clippard with a quick check of Joyce at second, and the pitch is inside, 2-1. Marisnick, the center fielder, shaded well into left center. There's a giant gap in deep right center field. Fisher shallow and toward the line and left. And that misses inside, and now it's 3-1. Clippard got the first 2 outs, a strikeout and a comebacker. So Lowry sitting in a good spot. Swing and a miss. 78 miles an hour.
'78 would be a changeup. And Jed looked like he was looking for it, just missed it.
So what's he going to throw him on 3-2?
Got a changeup.
And that one is drilled toward right field. Reddick on the move, and Reddick makes a nice running catch. Looked like Lowry was going to have an RBI hit, but Reddick had other ideas. Bottom of the 9th coming up.
Fans can vote for up to 50 Oakland Athletics from a list of the top all-time A's greats. Voting is open now at athletics.com/50. That's spelled out 50, and will be active until the end of the 2017 regular season. Oakland Athletics' 50th anniversary team will be honored at events during the 2018 season. Those fans are hoping that the A's can get 3 more outs and get a win. Who knows where they came from to watch the A's play this afternoon.
Well, they're also hoping Trinan can get a 6-out save. 3 outs in the 8th inning. Pinch hitter is Yuli Gurriel. He's hitting for Davis. So Gurriel, 15 home runs, 61 RBIs. Gurriel in this series is 3 for 8. Swings and misses.
And Josh Reddick comes out of nowhere because he was playing in right center to where he did not have a long run to go. Jed Lowry's had this happen to him a few times playing against the Astros. And whether it's spring in right field or in case now it's Reddick, you cheat that direction. And actually, right and left, they both cheat towards left center, right center. The Astros players do.
1-2 to Gurriel. Fisher is in the on-deck circle. And in Centeno, we could see a hitter for Centeno. 1-2 pitch off the plate, 2-2. Trying to save it for Jarrell Cotton. That one bounced in the hole. Simeon's got it. Simeon's throw is in time. Gurriel's retired, 1 out.
Thought Gurriel was faster than that.
Yeah, he does not run all that well.
No. He's hurt because he was not getting down the line.
So here's Derek Fisher.
Okay, a hitter hits a ball and does not really bust it down the line. Really makes it easier on the infield. Don't have to hurry.
Fisher is 0 for 3. Pitch to hit, he fouled it back. Hey, stay tuned for A's Postgame Live presented by State Farm. It's Mindy Bach and Bip Roberts in the studio. Fisher has grounded out, lined out, and grounded out again. Centeno has come out into the on-deck circle. Keep thinking that Carlos Beltran's going to pop out. That's down and in. So the count now 2-1 to Fisher. Trying to keep the crowd out of it. This place can get loud when the crowd gets rolling. There's a strike, 98 miles per hour. So the probables in Baltimore: Smith, Miley tomorrow night, Blackburn, Mulnumenes Tuesday, and Manai and Bundy on Wednesday. So that 3-game set coming up from beautiful Camden Yards. 2-2 pitch. It's grounded back to Trinan. Trinan will trot over, underhand, 2 away.
He's not going to throw a hard sinker to first.
Here comes Beltran. So Beltran will hit for Centeno. That AJ Hinch was going to use him at some point.
Yeah, he was kind of standing on the rail. He's already been up to the cage and taking his batting practice, get loose.
$14 home runs this year for Beltran.
And he's hitting from the left side, which is his best side.
And he lines one to left field, and that's a base hit. Joyce over there to cut it off. Carlos Beltran keeps the game going with a 2-out single. And it's going to have to stay out there, Rick. The only extra player they have now is Stassi.
And he's going behind the plate. So they have to pitch run Stassi.
Yeah, they could run Stassi.
They could pitch run Stassi, but
and Beltran really does not run very well anymore. So
in normal circumstances, that might be a ball you try go for 2, considering where he hit it. But he was just happy to get to first.
So here's Marisnick. He's got a couple of hits, single and a double. First pitch is a slider for a strike.
One thing about
the inner part there.
Yeah, try to throw on that slider. He throws it so hard, and he can start it at the hitters. And So Hatcher looked like he would start. It wasn't thrown as hard, which made it a little bit easier for the hitters to make contact.
That one just a little bit down, a little bit away. 24 pitches for Trinan. Springer is the on-deck hitter. Roll foul as Marisnick out in front of the off-speed pitch. We'll now see if Blake Trinan can finish him off and get the A's a win.
They might as well stay with the hard slider too, because that seems to be the best pitch. He's got a good turbo sinker, really throws it hard, but the slider, as we have seen, he can throw it hard where the hitter commits to a pitch that maybe is even out of the strike zone. You keep it down, you got a chance. Throw it hard, keep it down. And that is the slider that's coming right now to Marisnick.
Just got a piece of it.
The key is to throw it hard. You do not want to take a chance of trying to guide the ball and hang it. You throw it hard, let the hitter commit. Marisnick barely able to hang on to that slider.
Another 1-2 pitch. No, for the first, and Beltran just got back. He did not go back diving head first like most runners do.
The ball right into him also. That's what it made seem a lot closer. And if it had been missed by Olsen, it would have hit Beltran on the chest.
One-two pitch fouled at the plate. Got a piece of Marisnick, so the count stays 1-2.
A fastball that time, and a good fastball that was up a little bit, not much sinking on it. Move it straight down. Let's get the hitter thinking about the slider, which, the way he swung at that one, maybe he was.
Straightaway defense against Marisnick. Strike three called, and that's the ball game. So it was the slider. Marisnick could not pull the trigger, and the A's get out of town with a win, and they had to hold on this afternoon for a one-run victory.
Well, they stayed right there in the middle, threw it hard, right. And you throw a slider 92, that's almost impossible to hit. And buckled the knees of Marisnick, caught the corner, and that was enough. He didn't think so, but when you get the buckling like that of the hitter, he's got no chance to make contact.
So Jarrell Cotton gets his 6th win. Blake Trinan gets his 4th save as a member of the Athletics. 3 hours and 17 minutes was your time of game. 34,011 was the attendance. 3-2 final, A's over the Astros. Time now for A's Post Game Live, presented by State Farm. Here's Mindy Bach.